Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to talk about Worldwide Celebration a little bit more. I just did my video last night about reasons why you could skip the banners if you want to, regardless of what they are. Well, long behold, like hours later, we get like two more videos or two more teasers, and we've basically figured out what it is, at least for part one, right? And so the second two teasers came out, and we basically have confirmation that it is Broly. We literally have like images of green key blasts and actual like laughing that is the Broly Japanese voice actor. So we're like, yeah, for sure Broly's going to be a part of this. The question is it going to be Broly in both parts? Because I think there is enough you could just do double Broly, right? There's two different Broly movies you could hit on, possibly three if you count Bio Broly. Or it could be movies. I still think like Gohan Bojack could be a possibility, or Gogeta Janemba if they are doing movies themed. Until they give us the actual like Dokkan Now where they like reveal the characters and they tell us what the theme is, it's going to be a little bit harder maybe to tell what part 2 is, but we can speculate probably going to be in the realm of movies, if not flat out just Broly all the way through, right? So what I want to do in this video is I want to talk about who are characters that are most likely to EZA and who do I think will EZA during this celebration, okay? And I'm actually going to start with Super EZA. Now, I've got two predictions here overall for Super EZA. One prediction is I think they are going to Super EZA the first LR character in Dokkan history for Super EZA, and it's going to be this LR Broly. The reason why is, so we know for sure that Super EZA includes LRs. They literally announced that when they said Super EZA was coming, but they have yet to Super EZA an LR character. And granted, there's only like a handful, like 4 total Super EZAs in the game, so it's not a lot anyways, right? But I would say a couple of reasons why I think Broly's going to Super EZA during the celebration. One, a huge celebration like Worldwide is like the ideal place to kind of break the seal on the first LR Super EZA. The fact that we're now synced, they probably wanted to wait till we were synced before they did it. And this LR Broly is literally one of the first LRs ever released in Dokkan. So it like would make sense you'd want to do a super old LR for the first Super EZA. So one prediction is that I think for the first time ever, we will have an LR Super EZA. And my other prediction is I think this will be the first celebration where we will see multiple Super EZAs in the same celebration. Just because there are way too many good Super EZA candidates here to just do one. So we have LR STR Super Saiyan Broly, which I think could be an extremely exciting Super EZA. I think this guy could be just a ridiculous damage powerhouse. We already know he's an AoE unit that you can use for World Tournament, but this guy has a guaranteed additional super, which is absolutely crazy and could have him output just a ton of damage. Like, if this guy's doing maybe like, what if this guy's doing like 30 mil attack stats on his like 18 key, and then his guaranteed additional's like 16 million AoE or something, right? Like, that's what I see this guy doing. I could see them giving him a lot of damage reduction because, let's be honest, this Broly is like an absolute wall. Like, he gets just punched and like doesn't even flinch at times. So I think giving him really good defensive mechanics would be really good. Now, there are actually 3 other Brolys that are super old EZAs that I think could also Super EZA. So we have this STR Broly, which is another AoE unit. Now, he's basically just like a TUR version of the LR, right? They could obviously do something with it, but I think this guy, just because he's the oldest, is probably the next most likely to Super EZA. So if I were to guess, if there actually are 2 Super EZAs, probably this guy and this guy. And I know it stinks that they're both STR, although Extreme STR really needs the help, so I think it actually would be a good thing. And they both have the same name, right? Which, that's something we'll have to talk about. If they do full Broly, there could be a lot of naming issues, but I think there is a way they could release 2 Brolys and not have too much name overlap, right? I think something this game hasn't had yet is just like a really good base Broly that like transforms every turn and goes through the phases. I think that's actually pretty highly likely and would be really good because then it would link good with all these other Brolys. And then I think maybe doing like Maybe another Wrathful Broly, like we only have the one Wrathful Broly, or there's like kind of the fake Super Saiyan Broly that still has the black hair, but they still call him Super Saiyan. I think they give him a different name, and I think that could work out as well, right? But yeah, I think those two are the most likely, but some other options, we technically have Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly, a lot less likely just because he's like a 120 lead. I don't think they've Super Easy-A'd a 120 lead yet. So this one would definitely be like the least likely, but it's like this type of celebration, if it is actually Broly themed, would be like the perfect type of celebration for this guy. So we'll have to see. And then I think this guy actually has a decent shot. This is the Extreme Physical Dokkan Fest Broly, right? So definitely the only reason why I would put him down on the list is just that he's newer than the STR one. I believe the STR one is the oldest one. Because I think this guy was a 70% lead. The STR one was just like the 3 key, like 3,000 attack lead. So like, you know, that's kind of the order they went in. So I do think though, one, if not both of these STR Brolys are going to Super Easy is what I'm thinking for Super Easy, right? Let's go to Dokkan Fest. Now, the Dokkan Fest list isn't very, Dokkan Fest and LR list isn't very long. So I feel like all of these could just get Easy A's, right? So I think everybody's assuming Tech LR Broly, which will be insane because he's, when he came out, he was dropping insane attack stats. Like this dude's fairly old at this point. And I remember him dropping 11 to 12 million attack stats, which is just like unheard of damage. So after Easy A, like why not have this guy hit 40 to 50 million attack stats? I could see it, right? Could be a crazy unit. Then we have this Goten and Trunks. I feel like obviously they're going to have to, being that it's Broly themed, yes, we can't have the whole thing be Broly, so we got to do stuff on the super class side of things, right? So I do think like Goten and Trunks have been a big part of the Broly movies, and that Krillin as well. We'll talk about that Krillin as well. I think he definitely has a very high shot to Easy A. But on the Dokkan Fest list, I think this is the most likely super class Dokkan Fest to get their Easy A. And this is quite significant, and the timing would be good because I just did a video about the damage reduction Goten and Trunks units and saying all they need is like a good slot 1 Goten or Trunks that you could run with them, and they're going to be godly. And the timing for this would be perfect because I think you could run them effectively, the 80% damage reduction Goten and Trunks units. With this guy, if they Easy A this guy into a slot 1 unit, I think we're going to be gaming with the Goten and Trunks team, and it's going to be amazing. So I really hope they do get their Easy A, and I think they're very highly likely to get that, right? And then we have Dokkan Fest Broly, which they have Easy A stuff around the time this guy has come out, so he's definitely not too new for it. And I think this guy could be a powerhouse as well. This guy's Easy A could be one of the more impactful ones because this guy is actually one of the more defensive Brolys the game has ever released. When this guy released, he was actually criticized for not hitting very hard, and people didn't like him a lot at first, but this guy ended up aging very well and actually being quite an underrated unit because he has damage reduction and builds up more damage reduction. He stacks defense. So this guy, what they're probably going to do with his Easy A is they're going to make his defense even more potent, but I think they are going to bring him up to the offensive levels that people want and actually have him hit really hard also. So I think this Broly's just going to be insane. I'm probably looking forward to this guy being one of the best Easy A's the game has ever released. He's got such a good baseline kit for it, and I think he's going to be looking amazing. So that's what I have for the main Dokkan Fest ones. Now, because there isn't a long list of Dokkan Fest that kind of fit Broly specifically, I do think part 2, if they go movies, I would be looking at like Gohan, Bojack stuff. I haven't highlighted any of that in this video. If we get confirmation of that, I might do another video talking about like what part 2 would be. Or even if they do like the reveal for part 1 and they say the theme is just movies, then I might make another one of these videos for part 2 and talk about all the other movie stuff that it could be and maybe what Easy A's would have there. But for this video, I'm just going to kind of try to stick to Broly stuff, right? Okay, now let's look at like free-to-play and banner units that could Easy A, right? So I think this would be the perfect time to Easy A the Trunks and Broly. This is the quest mode unit, and I think they intentionally held back on the Easy A because they wanted to wait for the sync, and obviously they knew that Broly was going to be a part of Worldwide. So that's actually the perfect time to Easy A this quest mode unit and actually make them quite good. So I think that would be great. This STR Piccolo, I'm going to be honest, I know this is a movie hero support. I actually don't remember specifically which movie he's from. He actually could be from like the Cooler movie, but I threw him in there because I know Piccolo is in one of the Broly movies at least. So we'll just throw this guy out as if movies are in general, like this Piccolo would be actually a really good one to get their Easy A. I think STR Broly, this guy now is not too new to get his Easy A. He would be one of the newer banner units to get an Easy A, but I definitely think he could. Because this guy's from, what, the 7th anniversary, I think? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's from 7th anniversary. He was one of the banner units. But I think he could Easy A. We'll see. Maybe less likely just because of how new he is. But I don't know. Like, I would rather have him Easy A now during a Broly celebration. And this is just a base Broly, so it would be a unit that we need. I feel like this guy was pretty bad on release, and they definitely could fix him and make him good here. But I would say a little less likely just because he is a little bit newish for an Easy A. Sorry, I'm just going to quick and put Do Not Disturb on. I'm getting bombed here all of a sudden. I thought I was going to make it. Now, this Trunks I put on here, I'm actually pretty sure this is from BoJack. But I know Trunks was a part of the Broly movie, so once again, for super class units, if they might just go more movies themed, I think this Trunks would actually be a very good Easy A. He's a Hybrid Saiyan support unit. Especially if they do BoJack in part 2, like would be a really good support unit for like the tech LR Gohan that would most likely Easy A and like the new Gohan that would be coming out. He could be very good. This Krillin, I think, is like 99.9% chance going to Easy A. So this is literally the Krillin that is pictured on the Goten and Trunks card. This Krillin activates a unit super attack for that unit. This Krillin will also activate the damage reduction of the other Goten and Trunks I was talking about. And he's a good super class support unit. So I think this Krillin has a chance to be a very impactful Easy A, and I think is pretty much a lock for Easy A. I would be astonished if this Krillin did not get his Easy A, to be honest. And then we have some free-to-play units. So there is a free-to-play Goten and a free-to-play Trunks that have not Easy A'd. I think they are highly likely to get their Easy A's. This Gohan, I think, is Broly movie. It's a movie hero support unit. So I think they definitely have a chance. Now, I could be wrong. If he's from a different movie, let me know. But I think he's from the Broly movie. So I think this Gohan definitely could work. We actually have this Int Broly. Now, this one is from the 2018 Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Definitely could Easy A him. I know we just got Anniversary that Broly's from Superhero, or from Dragon Ball Super Broly. So people are thinking it's probably not likely like the new Dokkan Fest will be from Super Broly, but they definitely like could Easy A unit from Super Broly. I would agree that I don't think Super Broly will be either the part 1 or part 2 unit. I think they're going to primarily do Z Broly stuff, but I definitely think they could just Easy A this guy because he's a Broly. I don't think it would hurt, and it would definitely make sense. This Videl is from the Broly movie. She might be from Bio Broly, but it's a Broly movie, right? So this Videl definitely could Easy A, and actually I think she's a support unit. Let me double check. So she gets stats per movie hero. And yeah, she has a great chance of supporting the team. They would probably take that out and make her like a 3-key 30% support, probably give her some dodge or defensive mechanic. But, you know, anytime we can get a new Videl, I'm up for it. I love Videl. She's a cool character. Obviously, we have Bio Broly himself, a unit that has not been touched in a very long time. This unit could get his Easy A. I remember back in the day, this guy was actually a pretty defensive unit, right? Defense 100, attack minus 50 when facing one enemy, attack plus 100, and defense minus 50 when facing 2 or more enemies. So this guy was meant to be more defensive against a single opponent and more offensive against multiple enemies, which, sure, they could keep that part in there. But I think, yeah, if they make this guy like mega damage reduction against a single enemy, I think that would be really good. And speaking of Bio Broly, I don't think Bio Broly would be one of the mainline units, but I could definitely see Bio Broly being a banner unit for sure. I think they could do a banner unit Bio Broly. They could do maybe even a free-to-play LR, but I just don't think they'll make him a premium summonable unit. I think at most he'll get a banner unit, but I wouldn't mind them doing a Bio Broly. That would be fine. I would be cool with it, right? We have this physical Super Saiyan 3 Broly, right? This guy could definitely get an Easy A. I would say if this guy Easy A's, then it might be more likely that the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly Easy A's. The unit I want to highlight here is you can see who he awakens from is this Broly right here. So they call this unit Super Saiyan Broly, but it's not really Super Saiyan Broly. Like, his hair isn't yellow. So I think, to me, best case scenario, I would love it if one of the featured units, like the Dokkan Fest LR or Carnival LR, would be this guy right here. Like this artwork, like this version of this Broly is one of my favorite looking Brolys in Dragon Ball. And I think they need to release this guy, but they need to fix his name because this is not Super Saiyan Broly. It should not be Super Saiyan Broly. They could call it like false Super Saiyan Broly, or they could call it like Broly mind controlled or something like that. Or even calling this just base Broly is more accurate than Super Saiyan Broly, in my opinion. But they need to give this guy a different name. And I think it could just be standalone. He wouldn't even have to transform. Like, just make a really cool version of this guy, base. I would be super happy with that, and he would link with other Brolys. So I actually really want this guy to be one of the summonable units, for sure. That would be awesome. Okay, so there's that, and I think I have gone through that list there, right? Yep, so that's pretty much what I got, yeah, is for EZAs. Now, if there's anything big that I missed, you guys can go ahead and let me know. For new units, obviously, they definitely... I think what we do need, and I think is highly likely to be Broly's banner unit, is a good standalone Paragus. We have the Paragus and Broly unit, but we don't have like just a good standalone Paragus. So I think we really need that. Like, give me a good standalone Paragus, I think would be really nice. The super class main unit probably is going to be Super Saiyan Goku from the first Broly movie. That makes the most sense. And then you get into the second movie, you know, you could do something with like Super Saiyan Gohan, Super Saiyan Trunks. You could do like kind of a group unit. They'll probably do something like that if they do like the second Broly movie. We'll have to wait and see. They could do something with Goten and Trunks for sure. They're a big part of the movies as well. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the worldwide theme. If you're excited that it's Broly, let me know what you think of these EZA choices. If there's something I missed, feel free to hit me up in the comments. Like I said, I know some of the ones I picked I don't think are necessarily from Broly, but I think they're going to have to extend into other movies one way or another. And we do know that the Goku Piccolo from the Garlic, what was it, Dead Zone? It was either Dead Zone or Garlic Jr. movie, whatever that LR Int Piccolo is. They're likely getting their EZA soon. So they definitely could just be doing some generic movie stuff as well. So obviously there's a whole pool of things from Janemba stuff to BoJack stuff to maybe even Android 13 stuff. Like, they could do all kinds of stuff for other movies. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.